Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I think it's an appropriate time to put this fusion project with field maples into this pot that I got for Christmas. So let's start and see what the challenges for this repot will be, because there are some. I've been doing some measuring and well, this tree well, it fits in the new pot, but of course the width is okay, but the depth is not, so I'll have to get a piece of the bottom. So I only have this depth, so yeah, that means that I have to cut a whole lot. But before I do that, I'm going to scrape the surface so that I can have a look at what I have as surface roots. So if I can get a centimeter off here, probably I'll just lose some very fine roots at the top, which is okay, because it's the really big roots that you want to see. Here I planted a new tree just before winter, so I'm going to leave that and leave the moss on it so that it protects the tree. So here we have already a nice big root, and that's the thing you wanna show off. So too bad for the little smaller roots. So I'll need to clean this up, and I'll gain a centimeter or two maybe, so that's good. And it's obvious that this tree is packed with roots here, so I'm not too concerned about the health issues here. Also, some of this moss should be removed, but the first thing is to pot the tree up. I also have some seedlings growing here, which I will probably try to get out, or maybe I'll just plant them like that if they grow a little more, which is also a possibility. But the more I'm scratching off the surface, the more I see these big interesting roots, which is of course one of the purposes of this fusion trees, because you always plant the trees with the biggest roots facing outwards, so that you get a impressive radial root pattern. So I'm almost completely around now. Yeah, what I see I like, so that's good. Now there is another little problem here with this tree. Because I planted this fusion around a wooden trunk, which is not a good idea, so don't do that, because that wooden trunk is going to rot, and the rotting process will probably harm the living trees, so that's what you don't want. And now I'm stuck with this rotting part here. And another thing that I don't like about this tree is that I choose this as a front, and if you look at the front, it's completely flat. So it would be nice to get some curvature here. So I'll probably have to force some trees. And then of course I'm going to open this, which is not okay. And that's why I have 3 little spares. So yeah, but that might be rather complicated. So I'm still removing some of the topsoil here, and then I'll scratch the sides just to open it up a little more. It's just to stop the roots that are starting to form big circles in the pot. Just scratching and scraping my way around this tree, and yeah, I'll be back for the a little more interesting work. I only have 7 centimeters of depth in the new pot, so that's not a whole lot, but I can live with that. And also I think that this tree is a little bit well, wait a second, I'll show you from a distance. So I'd like it to be a little more upright, so I think something like that's going to be better. Just a upright tree. And then you see from the side it's okay, it's leaning just slightly towards the viewer, so that's good. But of course I need to take that angle in consideration to get the tree right. So wait a minute, I'll go with 7 centimeters like I said. So this is really, well, I have to saw here. So yeah, I have an old saw here. I'm going to take that right and straight, like so. Okay, yeah, let's go. That's a good thing about the turntable. Can turn the turntable and keep the saw in the right position. There's a video on this turntable concept on Sid Pavy's channel. He made an advanced concept on this turntable, which is really nice. Looks good, works great. He used more wheels than I did, so that means that his table is very, how should I say, strong, but it turns maybe a little too easily, and now it's difficult to block it. So Sid, if you hear this, get rid of a few wheels and it will be fine. So here we are. It's loose. So let's clean this up. So the tree is now standing on the turntable and it looks quite straight, so that means that the lowest part is where it's supposed to be. And I also didn't destroy any of the roots of this new little tree, which I will probably try to bury a little more by just removing some soil here and give it some more room to grow. So I'll just have to get it a little down, so that's gonna work. Okay, so I don't want to lose my front here. And now I have to deal with the flat part here, and that might be complicated. So obviously this is not really fixing anything at this point, so I need to make some leverage, open this up, get that to the front. So anyway, when I do that, I'm going to protect the bark with a piece of tire around my screwdriver, which I will try to use as a lever. Like so. That should help. And then, well, maybe I just need to cut open this part But I don't want to ruin all these roots here. I'll have to do something. I mean, sometimes you have to take difficult decisions. Let's see if I can open this. So you see, this is flat. See if I can have this on camera. Yeah, this part is flat, and I want it to be a little more round. I'm going to insert my screwdriver. Can it be moved? Well, yes, it can. So you see, these two trees are now a little more to the front. And I'm just probably disrupting some of these roots. So if I can put a little tree here and two here, that might do the trick. So this won't be round anymore. Well, it's changed already, so that's good. But I'm going to need some room to put the new trees in. So this is a good spot. And then maybe here. Okay, so I'm just making a channel here. Okay, so I have a few trees. Let's see. So these are the little seedlings. We have a root going this way, so that's probably a good thing. Now this is going to be complicated, obviously. Well, I need to open it more. First I need to open it more. Okay, so I need room for that new tree. So let's put the thing for the front here. Okay, which one was it? It was this one. So, can come here. Like so. I'm going to put it between these two so that it fixes itself. No, that's not good enough. That's good. It's stuck. Now you see it's a healthy tree. It's just starting to bud out. So, and then this one should come a little more to the front, but obviously he's trying to do that by himself, so that's very nice. And then I'll put these two here. I'm going to try to put them in together, and that should do the trick. Okay, so I'm going to bury these. I have a little root here that is blocking everything. Like so. Now let's see. So this was the front. I think I got rid of the flat part, so like this. So that's very good. Very pleased with that. I'm going to put this a wire around this, and yeah, I need to fix that also. I'll just put a wire around this and I'll be back. Okay, so this was the front, somewhere here. This is not the final repot of this tree. There's still a long way to go, but slowly, you know. Saw a video of Peter Chen a few days ago with all this chopping, and then let it grow for 20 years, and that's the only way to get a good taper in a tree. Well, no, that's just not true. Fusing trees is taking half the time, and well, look at the taper of this one and look at the nibbar. I think it's really good, and you don't need a whole lot of space to do that, so it's much more affordable for everyone. So let's have a look. Does it enter the pot? Well, not really. I'm not going to hammer it in, obviously. So I need to do some chopping and maybe reducing some of these larger roots. So I need some good scissors or pliers to do that. Okay, some secateurs will really do the trick here. I'm going to cut this big root here at an angle. Sorry about the view. This is really a big root. It's not good to keep that one. Okay, that means that I can remove quite a lot of soil here at the front now. Well, quite a lot. It's just 1 or 2 centimeters, but that's really all that I need to get this tree in the pot. And I really want it in that pot because I don't want this tree to become much bigger than it is now. And I wonder from what tree that big root is. Okay, so this can be pushed down a little. If I get rid of maybe a small portion more, like so, just splitting the roots, and from the part where you split a root there will be new roots growing down, so that's good. I also need to remove some stuff from the back, so let's. Yeah, there's some clay balls. Here is the big roots. So probably I'll just remove that one. See, I'm not removing a whole lot of roots. This is a root that is from that tree, but it has a big root here. So I'm not sure that I need that at all. But I'll tuck it in here, where it takes up a little less space. So let me feel. Yeah, I still can remove some. These I planted this with quite a lot of clay balls in it, which seemed a good idea at the time, but apparently it is not, because now I have all these clay balls here, and they're thick. So here again, big roots that I probably should remove up to here. And it's revealing some clay balls again. But that seems okay. So let's clean up, take the pot and see if it fits. Okay, so it fits, but it's a tight fit. So I'm just going to remove a little more from the two sides, just half a centimeter at each side, and that will be okay. So be right back. Well, it worked. It fits in the pot, and now just going to do a little turn on the tree, just scraping away some of this soil. And if I see some really big roots, I'll remove them. Maybe I should remove a little more of this stump here. Doesn't look really necessary to keep that. Yeah. And here I see a clay ball again, so I'm going to remove that. So these are the new little trees, so I don't want to remove any of these roots. And it just seemed to pop out. That's not what I wanted. But okay. For the time being, this is good. This is even really good, I think. Maybe some more soil under it, yeah. And I'm going to cover the new ones in moss, so that I'm sure that I don't lose too much roots. That's good. Okay. So, the new pot. That's the one. 2 little screens, and then just a little soil on top. There are holes in this pot to fix the tree. Now I'm quite sure it's not going to fall out. So here we have just 1 centimeter of new soil, which is already a whole lot if you see the room that I need to put this guy in. So let's get him in. Well, probably need to get an extra centimeter off the tree, which I will do. So I'm going to remove an extra centimeter here. Again, I'm going to use the saw to do that. So let's do that. Okay, so that's done. Let's get him back in the pot. Yeah, that's a whole lot better. Okay, from a distance. I'm looking on the screen of the camera. I noticed that you have a good, honest view about a tree that way. So I think that's okay. It's maybe a little too centered in the pot, and because it's leaning slightly towards that side, maybe I should put it a little more off center like this. And it's leaning slightly forward, so that's great. So well, it's just a question of tucking everything in now and adding new soil, and well, I'm gonna do that. So all the soil is now in position, and I'm just going to add a few pieces of moss because, well, yeah, I just like it. Gives a nice touch of green. So it also helps covering up some of the roots, which I'm not sure are going to be happy otherwise, especially here on the new little tree. So of course it's not a good idea to have too much moss growing up your trunks, but you can always remove it. Okay. Oh, it's all I'm going to put in that, I think. Maybe a few little plucks extra from another kind of moss here. And so yeah, that's the tree in its first real bonsai pot, and well, I think it's quite okay. So quick 360 to conclude the video. Still a little windy today. So now I will have to keep an eye on this tree and let it grow and then cut it back and then wait for the fusion to become complete. And it's already starting to fuse. You see, all these trees are fusing here. So that's great. Yeah. I'm very happy. So I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.